Hello. It is Monday and it is a new weekly reading vlog. I am finished work for the day and I am absolutely shattered. I think everybody's tired today. It just feels like one of those days. It has been a morning and an afternoon. It's 2:30. I have had a day of work. I fed Hamish. I had to run out and feed the chickens because Kay got swept up and didn't manage to go out before work. So I've had quite the morning and oh my god, do my hips and knees hurt. The physio was going to have a time with me tomorrow because I've got my physio appointment tomorrow and I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. So got all the appointments before work tomorrow. I've decided to change into my new jammies. It's got this little guy. It says, "Take it easy." It's got a little koala bear and it has the whole body. I've got a little koala in my pocket. I feel so much better that I've changed into jammies. Like honestly, sometimes you just need to just decompress and chill. Decompress and chill. I did finish the Girl in Question last night. Told you about that last night. Today, I have gotten this far into Gilded. Yep. I am, which is 184 pages into Gilded. It is 500 pages on the nose. And I don't know how I feel about it so far. I'm currently quite bored. The story is moving at a glacial pace. And there are bits of it that I'm really interested in, and like there's been like teeny weeny bits that I'm interested in, and amongst all the glacial pace, like bang my head off a wall, don't care. I don't care about what you have to eat. I don't care about like what's in the house. I don't care. Like there are so many things. Like I am a character based person. Like I am not a world building fantasy person. It's just not how I read. Like this is why I like a lot of the things I read, like World War II historical fiction, contemporary fiction, romance. Like I think that's why I read a lot of that, because I don't need to build the world. The world is this world. I understand this world. I don't need somebody to describe what it's like. This, to be fair, this is also this world. It's just like a feudal type thing. Like, she is the miller's daughter, they live in this cottage, there's a mill next door, the water and the river moves the thing, which moves the stones, which grinds the wheat and blood, but I don't care. She's told us that so many times, and I don't know who pointed it out. Somebody was reading another book, and they were like, take a shot every time the author uses the word deadpanned. And now, every time she says something, she's like, I deadpanned. And I'm like, can't unhear it. It's like releasing the breath she didn't know she was holding. But there are elements of this book. That I'm really, really interested in. But, like, this book could have already been like 100 pages shorter. I don't care. There's so much that I don't care about. That I'm just like, can we get to the point, please? Like, can we just get going? And it's not even, I just feel like it's not, it might... Focus your thoughts, Andy. I feel like it's not adding anything to the story. It's just bump. It's just waffle. It's all that stuff your teacher tells you to cut out of your essays because you're just not getting to the point. And you're like, I am losing interest in this book. Like, I am just drifting off because I don't care what's happening. But it might be that all that waffle actually comes round to something, and it actually is really, really important later on. But for now, it's just like, yeah, the kid can do a handstand and take 3 steps with her hands. Cool. I don't care. Like, the kids have nothing to do with it. Like, what have the kids got to do with it? I don't care that one of the kids is the brother of a boy that is the only boy that she's kissed because he's the only boy that wasn't scared of her eyes, but then the day that she kissed the boy, the gate got left open and wolves ate their livestock. I don't care! Why does it matter? There's all this bump, and this should have been edited. This does not need to be 500 pages long. Like, can we get back to the Earl King? Earl King? Can we get back to, what's he called? Earl King. Can we get back to the Earl King, please? I'm even down for an enemies to lovers. I don't think that's where this is going. But, like, I'm even down for him, like, being an enemies to lovers at this point, because that's how boring the rest of it is. I'm going to finish it because there's something going on, like, that I want to know about. I'm pretty sure I know several of the plot points that she's trying to, like, dangle. Like, I've already figured one of them out about her mum, I think. I'm sure. I've already figured the one out about her mum. I'm pretty sure I know Gild's secret. Not secret, but I'm pretty sure I know the thing about Gild. And I'm also pretty sure I know about her gift. Like, I'm pretty sure I understand the magic of it. And I don't think, like, I think these are, like, the 3 dun 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 moments. Like, I think those are the bits that are meant to be, like, shocking, and I've figured them all out already. So, yeah. I also don't really understand the world, because it's like, magical creatures exist, but it's like, sometimes people seem to believe in them and sometimes they don't. Like, people are like, oh yeah, they believe, but they don't believe in the wild hunt. And yet, like, she's literally seen, like, forest creatures. Like, not, like, rabbits and wolves, like, actual, like, creatures. Like, fairy tale creatures. And then people are like, oh yeah, she's just lying. And I'm like, but they're real. And, like, people have been taken by the wild hunt, and they're like, yeah, they're just drunk. And I'm like... And then at one point she's like, oh, there's only 7 gods, it's not that hard to remember them. But did you... Only 7 gods? Only 7? I can't remember your gods. Like, to be fair, there's not really been an introduction. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a fan. If anything, it's going to be like a 2-3 star book. And I can hear you telling me to DNF it. But I don't know. There's bits that I'm interested in. Like, there's a village, there's a castle, and there's a village by the castle, and I want to know more about the village, and I feel like she's gonna go back. And she needs to go back because she wants to find out what's going on. I don't know. This is already getting too long. But, yeah. I think I'm going to continue with the audiobook because I only have, like, just over 5 hours left. And then we'll see how I feel about Cursed. And I might just DNF the whole thing. I don't know if I will. I don't know. We shall see. Will this be a DNF? I don't know. It needs to get interesting fast. Oh, hi there. I didn't see you there. It's Tuesday. And, think we're going to DNF Gilded. I was going to call it Guild. We're going to DNF Gilded. Oh my god, I can't even get the name right. We're going to DNF Gilded. 180, what was it, 4 pages in, unfortunately. I don't even know if I said to you or if I just ranted to the girls, but I could not care less about these characters, about this village, about I don't care. I'm bored. It's just, I'm bored. So, unfortunately, it's just not for me. The concept is great. There are sections of it that are so interesting, but like 70% of it is just not for me. And the 30% of it that I do find interesting is not worth wading through the rest of it. And I already know I don't care enough to read this. In fact, the idea of picking this book up is making me feel slumpy. Like, I am dreading picking this book up. Which pains me to say, because while I was listening to it, because I have the audiobook as well. Get it, Chinos. While I was listening to it, it was fine, because it was just on in the background. But I could zone out and have to go back and re-listen to it because I wasn't paying attention, because I was so bored. The thing is, there were so many excellent reviews on this. So obviously this is for like other people. This is so for other people. It's just not for me. It's not my thing. And that's the thing, like excuse me? If you just can... There will be people who find things like this, historical fictions, just not for them. These are two very different things. This is my thing, this is not my thing. This is my thing, this is not my thing. I am not a fantasy reader, we know this. So there are very few fantasies in which I will get myself lost. Unfortunately, this is just not one of them. So I'm going to DNF this, which means I'm going to need a new book. Here we go. Yeah, this book is fine. Exactly, Chloe, you tell them. I'll link Chloe down below. Unfortunately, this was Siobhan's 12 and 12 rec, which I was using for my friend rec for the bingo board. So I'm going to have to get another friend rec for the bingo board. So I'm going to have to go look in my library and see what I can use for that. It's funnily enough, like, Siobhan has not recommended this to me because they have read it. I just had a very, like, I had limited, because my TBR at the end of 2023 was 85 books, and within that there was sequels. Like, I had CDs in there, so like I had like a reduced, I gave my friends a reduced set of books. I don't even know how many books I gave them. I would estimate in the region of 50 to 60 books to choose from for my 12 and 12. Maybe. And so this was the one that they picked for that 12 and 12. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of the books that ended up in that 12 and 12, and not in the 12 and 12, a lot of those books I've in that TBR have probably been on hold. Like, it was not, my TBR at the end of 2023 is very reflective of stuff that I wasn't necessarily wanting to read. There's been a shift in my reading. And so, even looking at my 12 and 12, there's certain books on there that I... Like, there's another couple of books on there where I'm just a bit like, I don't think I'm going to like that. But we're going to try it. There's at least 2 books still on my 12 and 12 that I don't think I'm going to like. But I bought the books. People just picked them because they did. And like I say, Siobhan hasn't read this. This isn't a slight at Siobhan at all. Even if Siobhan had read this and loved it, and it's just not for me, it would still not be a slight. You don't have to like every book that everybody else likes. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just not for me. Excellent, like I say, excellent concept. The writing's very story-like, very like whimsical, very like flowery. It's just not for me. It's just not for me. Anywho, I'm rattling my brain trying to think of another book to read. Because I want to read a book for each bingo square. I do want to read a book for every bingo square. But it does give me a chance to read a smaller book and hopefully get through that easier. If that makes sense. Tori does let you use DNFs for the squares, but I want to complete a book to use the squares. So if we get to the end of the month and I've not managed to do that, I might just do it. But I can't even use my bonus book because it's not a recommendation because it's a brand new book. Anyway, I might have to reshuffle. I have also started Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. Now, I am 37 pages into this book. This is so shiny. I'm 37 pages into this book and I love this book already. This has taken a slightly not twisted, I don't know. There's something about this that's so... It feels dark. This isn't what I mean. But it's got a darker tone than Ali's other books. And she does say at the start, like, Ali has put a thing saying that it is a little different from the works I've published in the past. Rue and Eli have dealt with and still deal with the fallout from issues such as grief, food insecurity and child neglect. So it is a slightly... not necessarily even darker. Darker doesn't feel like the right word, but it's the closest thing to the right word I can find. Like, it's not quite got the lightness that the other books have. It's got a deeper tone to it. And so far I'm really enjoying that. Like, we've only just met our two main characters. We've got like an introduction to the scenario, and then we've had a flashback from them, and I'm just like, I wanted to keep reading this last night, but I had to go to bed. I'm so excited to read this, but I can switch this and make this my friend rec because Becca always recommends Ali Hazelwood, and find another hyped book. I'm sure I can find another hyped book, possibly, although I struggled with the hyped book, which is why I chose this, because as I said in my video for my TBR, Becca is a one-man hype band for this. For Ali Hazelwood, or a one-woman hype band for Ali Hazelwood. So I'm going to have, you're currently sitting on my laptop, so I'm going to have a look and see if I can find either another friend rec or another hype book. I could use my next Maria read for a friend rec, because I do still have to read that, but that is still going to be another like 400 plus page book. If I can find another like 200 to 300 page book, that'll help me out a lot more than reading a big chunky book. So, we shall see. I will let you know what I decide. I did also go to the doctors and the physio today. I did say I would tell you how I got on. So, the doctor has agreed to take me off my Toperme, which means that I am going to be tapering off that. So, we're going down a dose till I'm off it, and then we're going to change up my other medication to try and see if that helps with my migraines and headaches. And it's so funny, because, like, she was like, so, how long have you had migraines, and is it actually migraine? And I was like, you're literally staring at a letter from a neurologist, a specialist, like highest level specialist neurologist. Do you think he would be going through all this if I wasn't having migraines or migraines? And there's a whole thing about like it not being multiple different things. It's a neurological disorder, but like, do you think I would be in this position I'm in right now if it was just a little headache? I am having serious neurological issues. Like, I'm having migraine up the wazoo. And currently I'm having other headaches on top of that are like, I was saying there, it feels like my head's being crushed. Like, it's not just, I feel like I need to relieve the pressure by like drilling into my head or something, just like releasing a little gasket so the pressure can release. But yeah, so we're going to try and change around my medication to see what helps. Yeah, next step is Botox. I'm not even kidding. Botox for migraine is the next step, because we have run out of medication. We've gone there, she was like, whoa, the stuff I'm seeing here is a lot of like experimental stuff. And I'm like, yeah, because we have been doing this since I was 14. And only recently, like I've been having migraine and headache issues since I was 14. And it's only recently that it's been getting like it happened to it got worse at uni, and then it's been increasingly getting worse and worse and worse since like 2018, 19, when I got referred back to neurology and neurosurgery, and the neurosurgeon is keeping an eye out for mecarium malformation and for syrinx foramen, and the neurologist is basically going through the list of medications that you use for migraine and just try to throw stuff at a wall and see what sticks. Like, so we've gone through every single type of medication that you've ever heard of for migraine, and then, like, so Botox is the next one. To be fair, I've not been offered that injection that people are talking about, where it's like a monthly injection and it stops migraine, but we need to go back to neurology for that. So we're going to try what we've got first, and then I think we're going to go back to neurology. I know Botox can work, but I also know that it doesn't necessarily work. Like, you only get so many per year, like how Jessica Kelvin-Fozard, who is Jessica with the Closet, I will also tag her down below. She has had Botox for migraines, and I think she also had Botox for issues with her jaw, because one side of her jaw had overdeveloped and it was causing, like, the muscle on one side was really, really strong and the muscle on the other side was really weak, and it was causing issues. She also has EDS, and she was actually the reason I got diagnosed, because she was diagnosed with something else that wasn't EDS, but when she was talking about her symptoms, Kay was like, "That sounds like you." And I was like, "Yeah, it does sound like me." And Kay was like, "No, seriously, that sounds like you should go to the doctor." And that's how I got diagnosed with EDS. Well, like, jumping from the start to the end, that's how I got diagnosed with EDS. But for her, the Botox runs out a lot faster than, like, the appointments are close together. So yeah, I don't know how that's going to work. And it's very dangerous. You need a specialist neurologist that does it, or a specialist, like, you can't just go to somebody to get Botox. It's very specialised, because it has to, like, get to specific nerves and stuff. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But then after that, I went to the physio, and I got some exercises. I'm not showing you the front page because I've got the doctor's surgery, or the hospital I went to, address on it, and we're not doing that on the internet. And the physio, oh my god, the physio was incredible. The physio was amazing. Not only did the physio know what EDS was, the physio knew exactly what EDS was. Like, he knew about how the issue with the proteins, the collagen, the way it developed into muscular issues with tendons and ligaments and bone and joints, and oh my god, this man knew his stuff. This man was like a font of knowledge. He knew his stuff. Like, he was an expert. This man was an expert. He knew his stuff, and he was dedicated to his job, and this man knew his job. Like, the bar is in hell to have, like, medical personnel who actually want to, like, I mean, again, NHS is in the shitter right now. They don't have the funding, they don't have the time, they're stressed out their heads, I get it. But just to have some compassion sometimes is, like, the bar is in hell. But this physio, he was incredible. His name is Wazi. Was it? Yeah, so he asked, like, he asked if I'd injured it or if I'd done something, and I was like, "Oh no, I have EDS." And he was like, "Oh, right, okay." Like, I could almost see, like, everything rearranging in his head. And I explained about the pain and this, that, next thing, and he was like, "Right, okay." And I could see, like, he was following a plan. So then he looked at my mobility and the movements, and he was like, because I know, he was like, "I understand." He was like, "Yes, with hypermobility, yes, we have hypermobility, but we don't necessarily have functional hypermobility." And I was like, I'm sure you could see, like, the stars and, like, the hearts and everything coming out of me. Like, because this is the thing, like, yes, I'm all flexible and stuff like that, but it doesn't mean it's functional. Oh, like, like surgically flexible. That is functional flexibility. My level of flexible is not functional because it means my joints pop out unexpectedly. So yeah, he was going through like all of that, and then he had like, he did all these things and took like, did all these exercises, and he was really concerned because my left side is not as strong as my right side, and like he was like really concerned. I was like, no, it's always been like that. And he was like, he was really concerned. Like, I think he was getting ready to like phone an ambulance. We were in a hospital. Like, he was really worried. And I was like, no, I was like that when I went to the physio the first time. And he was like, he started checking like my, he was like, does this feel, this, like he was rubbing up and down like my legs, not my whole leg, but like part of my leg. And he was like, does this feel the same on both sides? And I was like, no, my left hand side has less sensation than my right. And he was like, I was like, but it's always been like that. And he's like, okay. Like, the like medical person side of him was like, that's not normal. Because obviously you're meant to have like equal sensation, but my left has always been slightly less than my right. And I just thought it was because I was right-handed. And I said that to the physio last time, and they were like, no, you're meant to have equal sensation. And I was like, wow. So obviously there's some nerve issue on my left-hand side. But I also had to like burst, or a like slipped disc up here. So it probably affected the sensation on my left hand side, like in my neck, so it compressed my spine, and caused like my entire, like, I mean, it was pressing right on where my nerves in my arm were, so my entire arm was like completely numb. It was horrible. Anyway, yeah, and then he like got these, then after I did all that, he like decided that he was like got these exercises together, which is what this is, and then he was like doing all these exercises, and I was like, like, he was like, you feeling it on this muscle? And I was like, no. And he was like, okay, where are you feeling it? And I was like, my knees. And he was like, oh no, yeah, you'll feel it in your knees. And I was like, no, but like, I was like, I don't know how to explain it. And he was like, I was like, my knees are moving sideways. And he was like, because we were doing side steps. And I was like, but like, and I was like, but it feels like my knee is doing this. And he was like, right, okay, that's not good. And I was like, no. And he was like, and I was like, it's because when I need to straighten my knee, like, when you straighten your leg, like, when you bend your knee bends like this, right? Your kneecap here. Your knee bends like this, and when you straighten your knee straightens like this, but my knee straightens like this. So, like, my knee bends like that, and then I can pop my knee, like, my knee over, like, overdoes like this. Like, your elbow should be, your elbow straight there, and then, you see how that goes too far. Like, some people have it worse on their elbow, but like my elbow's not as bad as my knees, but like the over it does it. Like one of the physios, I thought my elbows weren't, like, didn't overextend, but apparently they do. But like my knees go like too far the other direction. So what was happening when I was trying to do these things, the things that he was asking me to do, is that my knees were overextending backwards, and then it was pushing them sideways, which is how I dislocated my knee the last time. And he was like, right, okay, so we're not going to do that. And he was like, let me think a second. And so we adapted it so that I could do the same exercises but sitting and lying down, so that I was feeling it in the right place, and it was working the right muscle, and it was doing the right thing without causing or potentially causing injury to my knees. And he was like, yes, this is what we want. Like, that man was so ready to adapt, so ready to, he was like, duck, dive, dodge, dip and dodge. Like, he was ready. Like, he was ready to go. He was so, like, you know how you get those people that are like so solid, like, it's my way or the highway, this is the way we're going, this is like me. like the reason that Vicky keeps joking that I might be autistic, like, because I have to have, like, this is the way it's supposed to be done, therefore this is the way it has to be done. He was not like, he was a complete opposite of that. He was like, okay, how do we fix this so that it works exactly for you? And he figured it out. Like, I've got my little band, my little stretchy band for my legs. So I need to, this is to look, go, oh, the sound was really funny coming off that. So I've got, like, this goes round my legs. I can tie it in different ways, so that it goes like bands around my legs, and then I can use it to stretch, to have some resistance instead of using weights, because weights can cause injury for me. And he printed all the things off for me to show how I have to do them. So yeah, and he explained it all and made it so understandable. It was honestly amazing. I mean, do I feel sore afterwards? Yes. But I don't think that was the physio. I think that was like all the moving around he had, because he was like moving my hip joints and stuff in ways that were like, it made me sign a thing that was like, by the way, you're going to have to be moved about and this might hurt and it might cause a flare up and blah blah blah. Like, it did detail that like this was going to happen, so I'm not surprised. So, but yeah, and he was also like very adamant, like, you don't push through pain, you listen to your body, like, it was so good. 10 out of 10, would recommend this guy. Excellent physio. Excellent physio. Like, so unbelievably happy. I completely trust myself in his hands. So I see him in 4 weeks. And hopefully, like, with daily doses of the physio. And he also is, like, keen on me trying to work myself up to getting back in the pool again. Because I used to love swimming. I used to swim every weekend with my friends. We used to go swimming. I used to love swimming, but I've got such bad anxiety around contamination, so like germs and stuff like that, that I can't get myself in the pool. I can't bring myself to get into the swimming pool, because it's a petri dish. It's a petri dish of people's filth and germs. And people take children in there and children are disgusting, and I can't. It's so ridiculous because I understand the chemicals that are in there. I understand like the whole thing, but like, you're in people soup. You're in disgusting people soup. And like after COVID, we know how disgusting people are. And my anxiety is so, like, my actual like diagnosed anxiety disorder is so based around germs. And because I don't have OCD, I've not been diagnosed with OCD. I have not been diagnosed with OCD, but my actual diagnosis is generalized anxiety disorder with obsessive compulsive tendencies is what my bracket is. So my anxiety has obsessive compulsive tendencies. While I don't have OCD, my anxiety leans towards those tendencies. So while like my anxiety, it's hard to understand. So like I do have anxiety around germs and things like that, but not in the same way someone with OCD would. Like I don't have that repetitive, like I don't have OCD. I just have anxiety, and then my anxiety is triggered by contamination germs, because I can imagine like these little the invasion of the things, of the little, like the idea of the bacteria and the viruses and other people's like secretions inside and on my body makes me want to scrub myself with a steel wool brush and bleach. Like that's how it makes me feel. Like when I did my microbiology series lecture at uni, like by the end of it he was like, y'all want to dip yourselves in bleach, don't you? And we were like, and like that's how I feel. Like I know so much about microbiology, it just makes me feel ugh. So yeah, getting into a pool to me is like asking me to like step into a septic tank. That's how I feel about swimming pools. It's basically a giant septic tank. It's a communal septic tank. Is it logical? No. Do I know this? Yes. Does it make a difference? Absolutely not. I'm working on it. I am actively, every single day I think about it and I am working on it. I need a pool where children are not allowed in. Like, children are my biggest problem, because children are inherently disgusting. Like, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but like children don't have the faculties or facilities to clean themselves in the way adults do, especially like really small children. You know what I mean? Like they just don't have the ability. It's not their fault. They're just not like big enough. You know, like babies and stuff, like they don't have the ability to like not be snotty, germ handling poop machines. And I can't get in the water with that because you're just in the soup. I'll figure it out. My mum is trying to help me. Tori's trying to help me. Kay's mum is now trying to help me. We'll figure it out. It's fine. will get me in the pool. So, but maybe it just needs exposure therapy. I just need to like, I just feel like I'm going to get in the pool and I'm just going to get sick. You know? Anyway, this is getting out of hand. This vlog is going to be, it's only Tuesday, this vlog is going to be like 30 years long. I'm going to go because I need to do stuff on my laptop and you're on my laptop. So, I will speak to you later. Hello, it is Wednesday. I'm just up in my library. I need to put away the stacks of books that are piling up from coming back from getting all my birthday stuff and whatever. But I've also today received my copy of Daydream by Hannah Grace, and I got this edition. I actually have two because I accidentally ordered two. So if someone would like that second one, for cost, please let me know, because I stupidly ordered two instead of one. If not, I'm just going to return it if nobody wants it, because I don't need two copies of it. But I've just read the author's note, and I'll be honest, it's made me a little bit emotional. Well, I mean, the dedication for a kick-off is for the eldest daughters in my life. I see you, I appreciate you, and most important, I love you for who you are and not what you do for everyone. And the playlist as well, so some of the ones that I know, What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction, Marjorie by Taylor Swift, We Can't Be Friends by Ariana Grande, Wanna Be by the Spice Girls, Karma by Taylor Swift, A Teenage Dream by Katy Perry, just for some of them again. And then there's a letter from Hannah. In the start of it, Hannah is the author, and I was saying about how, to me, in the first two books, Icebreaker and Wildfire, oh my god, in Icebreaker and Wildfire, I felt like Henry was autistic coded, and she sort of is addressing that in the letter, because she is specifically saying that she's not addressing that in the book. So she's being asked a lot by people if she's going to get Henry a diagnosis in this book, and she said no. He is not named having a diagnosis in this book at all, and she has always said he is neurodivergent coded, but she's not putting a label on it for him, and she just wanted to give everybody a heads up because she knows it's quite important to some people, and just wanted to let everybody know that going into the book. You can hear crusty the pages are from getting sprayed. Like, it's not been separated very well, I'm not gonna lie. And she goes on to say that she puts a part of herself into each of her characters, and specifically Henry is the one that she's put a lot of her own traits into, and she herself has just been diagnosed with autism and ADHD, and so Henry really heavily is based on herself, which is where I'm getting and picking up, and where a lot of people obviously are picking up on those autistic and ADHD traits. So yeah, she's not giving him a diagnosis, but she is sort of giving you a head up of like, yeah, that is where this is coming from. I'm diagnosed that he is very much me in book form, book character form, and so it is most likely the traits that you're picking up on are from my ADHD, my autism. And the reason she does not want to do that is, I mean, if you get it, you should really read the letter, because she says that, I'm just really giving it in a nutshell, but she says that she doesn't want to write a diagnosis storyline because there are so many nuances that would go into it, and she doesn't want to make it seem like it's so easy to get a diagnosis, and there are so many people that can live functional lives, and so many people that can just live without needing to go through all the heartbreak and pain and just frustration that is trying to get the healthcare system to help you with getting a diagnosis and treatment and things like that. So again, I am trying to sum up what is actually like, you know, a 2-page letter, but yeah, she doesn't want to, she's not writing a story. Her story that she is writing basically is the love story. She's not here to write out a detailed story of what it's like to be diagnosed with something, so she's not going to write that part of his life. Just know that what you are seeing in Henry is coming from the fact that the author is diagnosed with autism and ADHD, and it is her writing herself into that character. So basically what I'm reading between the lines is, yes, Henry has autism and ADHD, but he is not diagnosed with it, is what I'm getting from that letter, because the author has ADHD and autism. So yeah, I can't wait to read this book and see Henry and Hallie fall in love. Hallie we've never met before, so it'll be interesting. And Henry is my favourite character because he really is such a lovely, and again, she says this in her letter, about Henry and how he is such a loving character, and how, what is it she says about him? I hope you read the story and see a man who loves the people around him, and when it comes to conflict, you watch through the lens of knowing not everyone thinks the same way. So yeah, this is what I was trying to say about Henry in the last time I spoke about him, is that you really see through, like, that's what I love about him. That's why he's one of my favourite characters, because you can truly see how much he loves the people around him, and how sort of, that's what I was trying to describe, like he gets laser focused on the people that he loves, kind of to the detriment of other people around him, which is what like flagged up to me that there was something different about the way his brain was working. So that's what she's like, someone whose brain works differently from those around him. So I'm so excited. So this is definitely going, like, this is going to the top of the list for next month's TBR. If I could get it on this month's TBR, it would be, but it is going top of the list for next month's TBR because I am so excited about this book. I can't even tell you, but I need to get on with this tidying because I need to do it. Hello, it is Thursday and I feel I need to give some kind of update. So I finished Crypt. So that's another one ticked off. I now just need to finish Not in Love, which I read more of. Excuse me, while I see at the top of this thing. I had this. I saw this in the shop. This is the lid that it came with. This little lid, because you can put a lid on it and not have to eat it in one go. But I'm not a quitter, so I saw these in Tesco, and I've also got like a tub one that's vanilla, and they're like high protein quark things. So quark is like, as far as I understand it, it's like a cheese. It's like cheesecake cheese, but it's not cheesecake cheese. But like, rather than, not like, as opposed to like hard cheese, like cheese you would put on a sandwich. It's like soft cheese. That was so much easier than saying cheesecake cheese. It's like liquid cheese, not liquid cheese. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's a high protein cheese, and you can eat it as like a, obviously this is like a sweet version. And like, I've been following this guy on TikTok who talks a lot about like food, nutrition and weight loss and stuff like that, but not in a like negative, like he's very much on the like, he does like recipes and stuff like that. He tries recipes and like he'll tell you how to add more protein and fibre and stuff like that to them without taking out the taste and without making it like be crap, basically. And he's very much on the like, food has no moral value, there's no such thing as good food and bad food. and like he's great. I think he's called Liam. I can't remember his name. I'm terrible. But him and the guy who hates V Shred, I can't remember his name. Scotty. I think he always wears like the anyway. And they're always talking about the best thing you can do, really for your diet. For like, there's like 3 things you need to do if you're trying to lose weight in a healthy way. 1, calorie deficit, but calorie deficit in a way that's right for your body. So like, they've got all these things because they have like qualifications and stuff in nutrition and stuff. There's a calorie deficit that's right for your body. So someone who's like a larger weight needs a different calorie deficit. So like you can't stick to the whole like 2,000 calorie thing. It's a total nightmare. But anyway, like they talk about that. They talk about the fact that you should increase your protein and increase your fibre. But slowly, because if you suddenly increase fibre, it's not good. So I saw these and I was like, oh, quark, I've heard of that. I know what that is. It's also high protein and it's also like tasty. So I thought I'll get one of these because it's like 90p or something in Tesco or like Club Card price 90p, and the other one as well like 90p. And it's like a good sized tub, and these are meant to be really filling as well. And like this is the problem. This is the thing. This is why I've grabbed this as well. I came home. I had Weetabix this morning, and it's not Weetabix. It's like it's Tesco's Weetabix because I think it tastes the same and it's got the same everything, nutritional value and stuff like that. It's Weetabix, but it's cheaper. So why would I buy the expensive one just for the brand name? Anyway, and I have four of those biscuit things for breakfast with milk, obviously. And yeah, I come home from work at 2:00 and I'm absolutely gutted. Like I'm so hungry. I'm painfully hungry. So I was like, this is high in protein. This should fill me up. And it says like that it should be filling and like it's high in protein, fat free. It's not only filling, but it's perfect energy juice pre or post workout. And damn, do I need an energy boost right now? So I thought I'll try this, see how I like it. It increases my protein. I don't know if it has high fibre in it. No, it's not really got any fibre in it. That's fine. I eat loads of fruit and stuff like that. No, fruit, vegetables, fruit. I was thinking broccoli and I said fruit. Anyway, but yeah, if there's a way I can increase my protein with something that I can like have as a snack, that's nice. And it tastes nice. Like, yeah, this was like Belgian chocolate and caramel, and it was so nice. But I just thought like sucked it out the top, like a little kid with a little pouch, and like I sucked it out the top. It was thick, like a thick smoothie sort of consistency, or like a yogurt. It's basically a yogurt. It's like a yogurt. That's what it's like. It's like a yogurt pouch. But like, I don't even want to call it a healthy yogurt, like a healthy yogurt, but because it has sugar in it. It has like this thing has like 12, 13 plus, just over 13 grams of sugar in this whole thing, which isn't that much, I don't think. But it's got like 22 grams of protein, which apparently is good. But I enjoyed it. It was nice. I'll see what the vanilla one's like as well. But protein. I'm very happy with my protein. I don't know. Anyway, totally off course there. I got to page 140 of Not in Love. I've not been enjoying this book. I am really enjoying this book. But I have been doing other things, and I was listening to my audiobook while I was doing other things, so I wasn't reading with my eyeballs. So I was reading with my eyeballs when I went to bed last night, and only managed to get to page 140 because my vision started going because I was really tired. So if I can finish this book, that's another one off my TBR. I think this is the book that's getting punted, personally, this TBR, because it is over 460 pages. I now have the audiobook for The Taxidermist's Daughter. It sounds so good. Like the audiobook narrator has gone in. She's making it sound so atmospheric and so like it sounds creepy. Like, I'm for this in audiobook format. So I think I'm gonna manage this because I've got the audio. I'm definitely gonna manage this. I've only got 3 books to read now. This, and that. I think I'm going to manage that. I think this one's the one that's going to get punted. I don't think I'm going to manage it. If I finish these two, I might redo my random number generator, because that's what that book was for, and see if I can get a smaller book. Also, oh my god, such amazing news. Like, it's really, really exciting news. So, just to give you a little bit of background, you all know I love Hannah Bonham Young as an author. I've recently read her books sort of back to back to back, which are Next of Kin, Next to You, and Out on a Limb. And she is doing a companion novel to Out on a Limb called Out of the Woods. And it follows characters that we meet in Out on a Limb who are actually already married, and this is them having some issues in their marriage and going to this wood camp thing where they have it's like a couples retreat to try and get your marriage back on track. As far as I understand, you know what I'm like when I don't look into things, I might be totally wrong, but like they have to learn to trust each other again through doing these like tasks, and like because they have to physically rely on each other and like communicate to do these tasks, like team building exercises. The idea is that it helps the marriage. It helps them like rebuild their marriage. So I'm really excited for that. And so Hannah has put up on her Instagram that Out of the Woods is live on NetGalley for NetGalley requests. I did not look at the bit though where it said on the caption that it was US only. So, but she will be putting it up for UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, etc. Later on. It is just US right now, but they are working on the UK version that I will have access, or like, obviously I don't have access to the US one, but like if I was to have access to one, it would be the UK one. So I was like, watch me revise my entire NetGalley, because I gave up on NetGalley because I was getting rejection after rejection and after rejection, and I'm very sensitive to rejection. So I totally panned in my entire NetGalley. I just gave up on it, didn't want it. Was like, no, I logged out, never went back on. And so I logged back into NetGalley, couldn't find it, looked back on the thing, saw that it was US only, and was like, okay. But while I was there, I saw a few other things that were available, and so I started requesting books again. But only specific things, only things that I knew I was going to read immediately when they dropped into that inbox, because if I'm going to do NetGalley, I want to have things that I want to read. And so the first thing I saw was that A Pirate's Life for Tea is up on NetGalley. A Pirate's Life for Tea is the next book in the Can't Smell Treason Without Tea. It was the first one, and I love that, and I have A Pirate's Life for Tea pre-ordered, and I cannot wait to read that. I'm so excited to read that book. And I got it today. I got accepted for it today. I've got it in my NetGalley shelf. I'm so excited. That is going straight on the September TBR. I was going to say spoiler, but you won't see this until after the September TBR video, which I need to go film today, for tomorrow, posting it. Because I'm an organised individual. And then a couple hours later, I got another email from NetGalley, and I was like, oh, what the hell's happening here? Because I also got the new Lizzie Huxley Jones, which is, it's not, I don't think it's a sequel or anything like that. I don't think it's got anything to do with Make You Mine This Christmas, but I can't remember what it's called. Edit Andy, please do your thing. But it's the new Lizzie Huxley Jones, and they have written another queer Christmas romance. I loved Make You Mine This Christmas because one of the main characters had EDS, and I think Lizzie Huxley Jones also has EDS. They are definitely disabled, neurodivergent, and NB. But I don't know if it is EDS that they have. I think it is EDS that they have. But this one is a male-male romance. I don't know if there's any disability rep. I just saw Lizzie Huxley Jones queer Christmas romance, and I was like, click. So that one is not going on the September TBR. I have things that I've had to go on the September TBR because we have made choices. So I have now got a ticket to go see Deborah Harkness, who, if you don't know, is one of my favourite authors. She wrote Andy, Think, A Discovery of Witches, and so the All Souls trilogy, or the All Souls series as it's now sort of becoming. There are 5 books now in that series, so there's the original All Souls trilogy, and then there's Time's Convert, and then there is the Blackbird Oracle, which I recently read and was so glad to get back into the world. And so she's doing her Blackbird Oracle tour, and coming to Edinburgh next week, next week on Thursday. So I've got tickets for that, and I'm very excited. So I'll be going down to that. And then the author of The Betrayal of Thomas True and what was the first one called? I've done this every single time. I can never remember what it's called. And it's something so easy to remember. His name is AJ West. AJ West. I don't think I said that right the first time. And his first book, I read it, I loved it. I'm so, like, it hit me. Like, see the ending, you could have knocked me over with a feather. And now his new book, the one that I showed you a while ago, with the beautiful peacock edges, The Betrayal of Thomas True, is based on the lives of gay men in it could be Elizabethan, Victorian, Georgian, I can't remember, because memory like Sev. And it's based on real people, and it's based on real things that happened to them, and that is just my jam. So I'm going to have to, that's been bumped onto the TBR because I need to read that before going to see him. He's there the next week in Edinburgh, speaking at Blackwell's, so I am seeing all the authors. I'm also going down to Edinburgh at some point on next week as well to meet Maria V. Snyder, who is one of Tori's favourite authors. She is here for her book tour and for Rare, and so she is doing a meet-up in Edinburgh, and I'm going to do that as well. It is all happening in the next 2 weeks. September, I tell you, is a busy, busy month. I have so much on in September. It is going to be a busy, busy month. If this goes well, I'm going to have to get so many of these to keep me going. It's like these are the new Red Bull. To be fair, I do actually feel better. Like, I feel more awake and alert. So, I do think I'm going to have to get something else to eat though, because that's not going to cut it. Food-wise, there's a vegetarian society approved. I was like, there's no way that's vegan, because there's so much milk in this. It is literally a dairy, like a Graham's dairy product. I think I'm gonna go to get myself something else to eat, just like a small snack, a small lunch. I've got rolls, breakfast rolls, like morning rolls, so I might get something. A wee roll, and then I need to film and edit because it's not filming time. But then today books got added to my TBR, so it would have been wrong anyway. I'm gonna go and I really wish I'd watched this. I'm gonna go and get cracking because I really need to do stuff. Tomorrow also is my work day out for summer, even though it's kind of overcast and stuff. And we're doing crazy golf. Is it crazy golf? Adventure golf, that's what it's called. Adventure golf. And then going out for lunch. And then I'll probably be coming home because I don't really want to go out for drinks because I'm not physically capable of drinking alcohol right now. My body would probably just, I'd end up in 9 wells. Probably. I'd probably end up in hospital, so that's fine. Hello, it is Saturday. I don't think I vlogged yesterday. I was out all day at a work day out. We have one every summer and every Christmas. And yesterday was the summer one. So yeah, I was out all day. I didn't do any reading. Literally, we were out from 10 o'clock till we played adventure golf. I think I don't know. I didn't vlog anything because I was with work people. But I think I got a photo of the course. If I got a photo of the course, I'll put it up here. We did adventure golf, and then we did went for lunch, and then we were out for drinks for. I think we came home. I drove some people to get the train, like 9:15. And then I came home 8:15. 8:15, not 9:15. So yeah, I was out until 8:15 basically. So yeah, I was absolutely pooped. I didn't even read. I just came home and I watched some YouTube and like I was driving, so I wasn't drinking. I don't see the value in drinking alcohol anymore because it doesn't really do anything. Like when I mix it with my meds, it just makes me tired, and I don't get any sort of like, I don't know. It doesn't really like do much. So, and then I feel rough because of my meds and stuff. So it's not as fun as like it was when I was in my 20s. So I don't really drink that much. Anyway, I'm still recovering from being out with being like on holiday. But yeah, I've just done my physio. I just wanted to record the fact that I'd done my physio for the first time probably, because I was out all day yesterday, so I didn't actually have a chance to do my physio. And then the day before I was in so much pain I couldn't do the physio. So today I've done my physio. It is, what time is it? It's like 11 o'clock in the morning. I've done my physio. I've now got this, which is like the same thing I had with a little packet yesterday, the other day, but it's vanilla and chocolate in a tub rather than in a pouch. So it's the same sort of thing. So it's 22 grams protein, quark. This one doesn't say like great after workout, but I'm assuming this is the same thing, that it's supposed to be good. So because I feel like my legs are like shaking because my physio was all for my legs and hips and stuff like that. So literally every day is leg day for my physio. So I've just done my physio. My legs are shaking. I feel really like shaky and stuff like that. So I'm having this to hopefully help with that. See how we get on. I've got sprints at 2 o'clock. Kay is unfortunately off work sick. She thinks she may have flu. So she's in bed right now. I don't know whether or not she'll be up. If I'll be doing sprints or not. See how things go. But yeah, I still have like this much of Not in Love, and I've still got pretty much the entirety of the Taxidermist's Daughter. I am obviously One Moonlit Night to read. It's the last day of August. I am not confident at all I'm going to get my TBR read, but I mean, obviously I'm not going to get my TBR read. I've got 3 books to read. It's not happening. I might manage to get this and the Taxidermist's Daughter finished, but it would be really pushing. So we'll see. We shall see. I've got 5 hours left on the Taxidermist's Daughter audiobook, and then I've got 2/3 of this to read. So it is doable, but it's like going to be high intensity, and I don't know if I want to push it. So I'm just going to sit here, eat my quark, watch my YouTube, and just see how I feel. Hello, it is Saturday night. It is the end of August, and I did it. I finished the books I needed to finish. Technically, I finished Not in Love. It was a 5-star. I cannot decide. I think I probably still like Love Theoretically more, but this is like so close. It's nipping at its heels. It's different. They're not the same. Like, but I feel like I need more of the side characters in this, and it would have been better. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, love this. I can't decide if I prefer Eli to Jack or not. Jack is my favourite of Ali Hazelwood's male love interests, and I can't decide if I like Jack or Eli better. That is just, I genuinely cannot decide. But I love this. I thought this was great. I really, really liked everything about it. Like, I was hooked the entire time. I wanted to know what was going on. I was saying on sprints there was like 3 people with secrets, and the whole time I was like, I need to know. I had like an inkling as to what the secrets were, but I was like, I need to know. So yeah, the whole time I was just like, I need to know. So I finished this, and I loved it. And then while I was reading The Taxidermist's Daughter, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to leave it in this book bestie. While I was reading I'll hit myself in the face with it. While I was partly through The Taxidermist's Daughter, we decided to redo my random number generator book. And so I ended up reading Goblins in Greatcoats, I think it's called. I'll put a photo here, which is the novella short story that Travis Baldree did to go with Legends and Lattes. And I read that, and it was funny, and I liked it. And it was just, yeah, it was so funny. I really liked it. So I read that for my random number generator run. And then I've also just finished, like, I'm not even, like, 2 minutes ago, well, I've been recording for like 3 minutes, so like 5 minutes ago I've just finished The Taxidermist's Daughter, and genuinely about halfway through this book I was like, this is going to be a 3-star book. For about half the book I was like, this is going to be a 3-star book at most. It's not my thing. I was like, everybody was like, just DNF it, and I was like, I don't want to DNF it because I want to finish this prompt. And by the end of the book it was a 4-star book. That ending was really good. So if it was just for the, to be fair, I don't know if it was the fact that, I mean, it's not really, it's not my time period. It's like, this was like early 1900s. Not my time period for reading. 2, it was like a gothic mystery, not my genre. But at the same time, it was just like, I was forcing myself to read it in so many different ways. So like, it was the perfect storm for me to not be enjoying it. So, but like, it got to like the halfway point, and then we really started, like, stuff really started kicking off, and I was like, okay, I like it. And that ending was really, really good. I really liked the ending. So, yeah, if the start of it hadn't been so slow to pick up, like if we hadn't had such a kind of slow introduction, it's just going to keep slipping. If we hadn't had such a slow introduction, it would have been fine, I think. But it's finally, I've had this book since 2014. I've had this book for 10 years. And I've finally got it off my TBR. But it's also not what I expected it to be. I expected it to be something along the lines of The Lie Tree. Is that what it's called? The Lie Tree? I don't remember. Yeah, the expectations I had going into this book were totally off as well. Like, this book, I love how I've got like the Cassie Clare thing. This book was it was always going to be a rough one to read. But it's finally, the cloud has been lifted. It's off my TBR, and that's all that matters. I can finally no longer have to think about it. Ever again. I never have to think about it. It's off of my mental load, because this book has been on my mental load significantly over the past year, and now I've read it, because even if I DNF'd it, it would have been still on my mental load. It would be like almost like the one that got away. Like, it would be still sitting, like, weighted on my shoulders. So I needed to get it out of the way. I needed to read it. Because otherwise I would still be thinking about it. So I finally read it, and I'm glad I did. I enjoyed it in the end, like the mystery and everything, like the conclusion. Like, that's the thing, Kate Moss knows how to write. You're never going to get like an unsatisfying ending from Kate Moss. So I'm glad. I'm really, 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 really glad I read it. It's not my favourite of hers, but it's still a 4-star, so it's like a low 4-star, but it's still 4-star. The ending, really good. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed because I'm absolutely shattered. You can probably tell. You can probably tell just by the sound of my voice. I've had all my medication. I'm ready just to go to bed and crash. And tomorrow we start the September TBR. Ironically, do you know what? I might not even start with the portrayal of Thomas Drew, even though I really need to read that for going to see AJ West. I think I need a palate cleanser of some kind of romance or something before I go into something else that is not usually my thing. Well, the thing is though, no, we're not starting that conversation. I'm going to bed and I will speak to you tomorrow. Hello, it is Sunday. I don't think I've spoken to you yet. I am just getting ready to go to bed. I have been reading Daydream all day today, and this is very quickly not only becoming my favourite Hannah Grace book, but I was 50 pages in. I think I maybe have spoken to you. I was like 50 pages in when this was quickly becoming one of my favourite Hannah Grace, like my favourite Hannah Grace book. But I think this is becoming one of my favourite books of the year very easily. I am loving this. I love Hallie. I love Henry. I mean, we knew I loved Henry anyway, but I love Hallie. I love Henry. I love the way that Hannah is writing these characters. I love what she's doing with these characters. I love the themes and the topics and the things that she is exploring with all these characters and the side characters and the one-liners and the comments and stuff that these characters are making. Like, there's one side character who, like, offhandedly in a conversation, like a book club is coming over and he's like, oh, I better Google the book and read a summary so I sound smart when they get here. And they're like, you're studying to be a doctor. And he's like, yeah, and I'm going to end up with a load of student debt. I need to find myself a wife while I still got this body. And I'm like, they're so funny. She's so, like, Hannah Grace is so funny. These characters are so funny. Like, I love these characters so much. Like, we're at this point. I'm 200 and I was going to say 175. I have 175 pages left. We are 252 pages in at the moment. This book opens up with, like, not my favourite, but my least favourite thing. Like, Hallie just being an icon. And, like, I immediately loved Hallie. Sorry, my computer's updating behind you and I'm like, every time it does something. I immediately love Hallie. She is so relatable as, like, the eldest daughter. I think this is dedicated to eldest daughters everywhere. Yeah, for the eldest daughters in my life, I see you, I appreciate you, and most important, I love you for who you are and not what you do for everyone. So, yeah. And then there's a playlist, as with all the books, and then in the back, there's a playlist, Hallie's version, and it's all Taylor Swift songs, because, if you can probably guess from the cardigan, she's a Swiftie, but it's not mentioned in here, but she's a Swiftie. Yeah, I'm loving this. I would stay up. I could probably finish this by 2 in the morning, but I need to go to bed because I have work in the morning. Unfortunately, we've had to crack out the COVID tests again. Kay has been really ill and not been at work, and she is tested positive for COVID. And now I'm not feeling great, but I don't know if I'm not feeling great in a I also have COVID way, or I'm not feeling great in a my body has overdone it and I need to rest because of EDS kind of way. But my COVID test is negative, so we're going to see how I feel. I'm just going to have to see how I feel in the morning. I'm going to test again in the morning before I go to work because I don't want to give my workmates COVID if that's why I feel like crap. We've got a box of tests, so I'm just going to have to keep testing and hope that I've managed to dodge it and just see how I feel. Because yeah, like I say, I feel rough, but I don't know if it's like flared up rough or whatever, like, I don't know, we'll figure it out. I suppose we'll figure it out. But anyway, I actually need to go to bed because, like I say, I have work tomorrow. Hopefully, if I'm not ill. I would very much not like to be ill tomorrow. I would just like to be well rested, please. But if you would like to let me know you were here and you don't want to sit and type or something, if you leave me some kind of cloud emoji, because I've got the Spirit Edge edition of Daydream. I think there's some kind of cloud emoji. Either a cloud or one of these little stars or a purple emoji for Daydream. Yeah. I really am loving this book so much, guys. It is honestly the best book Hannah Grace has written by far. This is shot right up to the top of like my year, I think. I'm just like, yeah. I will. Hopefully this is going to be a 5-star. I don't know how it could really like fuck up in 175 pages. There is a distinct possibility it could, but so far we're doing well. This is like 6-star material. I am loving it. So yeah, but yeah. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye.